Hello, welcome to Anselm Griffin's occasional series in Matlab tutorials. Today we'll be looking at trying to classify an image, or the contents of an image, whether the objects are round, circular or triangular. And just to be clear about this, just to highlight line 2 here, this code comes heavily, or is based largely on that web link there by Image Analyst, who is one of the leading image processing researchers for Matlab, working under a pseudonym. I've changed it ever so slightly, and I also just changed one thing at the end because just to make sure we were getting the right circularities. So I've outlined the steps here. That's line 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12, and just to give a vague sort of pseudocode. Lines 14 to 36 outline the commands that were used in this example. So I'm just going to run through the commands, and then I'll run through the script, and then I'll run it and you will comment on the answers. So I think we're there. Just tidy up the workspace, we know, and we've just made the font size 20. So handy little one here. 48, 49 and 50 Image Analyst uses it, and some of the other guys use it in Matlab as well. It's just to make sure that wherever the file is, that it will run from there without doing an add path or anything like that, and that uses the isDeployed function. So just say, for instance, you handed this up to your lecturer, teaching assistant, on a memory stick, or even if you emailed him, no matter where he or she saves it, that'll make that part of the present working directory, and it'll run from there. Okay, lines 52 to whenever 79, that's just to do the image selection, and we get a question dialog box, and I think that'll make more sense when we run it, but it's just to make sure. Now there is a demo image there that's on lines 64, 65, 66, 67, 69 and 70, but I'm going to pick my own one that's on 72 to 76 or whatever it is, because that image contains all three. Okay, lines 81 to 86, just some sort of error checking. You're trying to make it robust. Now, not robust in the image processing sense, but just robust in a script sense, that if the file doesn't exist, you get an error. Now, just to say, as most of the work came for, most of the script came from Image Analyst, and he did more error checking than's here, and I've taken some of it out because I wasn't that worried about the error checking. Just wanted to get the thing to go. 89 and 90, well, hopefully you know this by now. 89, read it in, convert it to grayscale, and 90 binarize it. So Matlab will select the suitable threshold image on line 93, I should say threshold level, and then we display it. Now, just in case on 900, just in case there was a bit of noise, you can use BW area open, as I mentioned in the class already, and I selected 50 here, but that's based on no hard and fast rule. I just said I'd select 50 just to get rid of some noise. Displayed the cleaned up image on 102, 103, 106, 107. I bwlabel it, and I get the blob measurements from the regionrprops, and I'm getting the perimeter and the area of the array called labeled image. To see the labeled image, I used a function that's available on the Matlab Central File Exchange. Use vislabels, and the link is there. And anyway, if you just did a Google search for vislabels Matlab File Exchange, just download it. We'll see what that does when we run it. And then on line 121 we get the circularities. Now, in my humble opinion, Image Analyst made a slight mistake on the equivalent line. That's this line here, and what I've done is I've put in the square brace brackets to get the corresponding element by corresponding element. He left them out, and I don't think that's correct, well, in my humble opinion. But anyway, That's just what I think. Now on line 1, 2, 4, etc., we're saying if the circularity is less than 1.19, it's a circle. If it's 1.19 to 1.53, it's a square. Just sorry about that. Sorry for the delay. And if it's above 1.53, it's a triangle. Just to run that right there. Now we'll see when we run this, we have 11 objects, and one of them returns an incorrect answer. But that's just, we'll see why, because it's just on the threshold. So let's run the code. Hopefully you can see that on YouTube. So there's my question dialog box. Do I want to do the demo one or pick a different one? So I'm going to pick a different one. This is UI get file that we're running at the moment, and I'm going to select one that I did already. Sorry, not one that I did already, but a program of image that I stored. This lad. Now things might flash by at an enormous rate here, but let's just have a number of figures that have popped up. So I read in a color image. I didn't display it, I just converted it to grayscale. Then I converted it to black and white. So that is, I'll just blow it up. That's that image there. Now I know there is no noise, but just imagine there was. So what I did was, I can shut that one down. That's my 11 objects. I'm going to shut that down. This one here is after BW area open. Okay. So if there was any noise, we would have got rid of small amounts of noise. Get rid of that. Next one. Now I mentioned in the introduction is a function called bwlabels, and we did that, and there's bwlabels. So that is the label matrix. Now as I mentioned in class before, why is this 1? Why is that 2? Why is that 3? So what it does is Matlab runs across, well, it gets confused as I mentioned in class, but it runs across this axis here, so the columns. So what's the first pixel? That's 1, because that's the first white one there. That's number 2, that's there. It must be very close to here. There were 2 and 3, which is which, but seemingly that's 2 and that's 3. The next one across is 4. Next one across is 5. Next one across is 6. Next one across is 7. Next one across is 8. Then 9. And that's object 10. And that's object 11. So it's just dropping it off what we would call the x-axis, but is actually the y-axis. So we have that. Don't know what that's showing you is, but it's just when I'm showing you on YouTube. So is a triangle. That's okay. Just drag that down there. Is a circle. So it's saying object 2 is a circle. Now that's obviously incorrect, but it's just, it's 1.19, so we're sort of on the cusp, and it's just some rounding errors there, and the thing is small. It shouldn't happen, but you can always misclassify, and that's you're going to expect errors. Next one down, circularity is 1.605, so that's a triangle. That's correct. Next one, just have to bring these down again. The circle object number 4 is 1.075, so that's a circle. That's grand. Number 5, sorry guys. Number 5 is 1.032, so that's a circle. Yeah, that's true. Next one is 1.197, so that's a square. Yep, just now. You see there, that's 1. Remember, it's 1.19 is the border. So next one is 1.225. Yeah, so that's a square. That's grand. Number 7. Next one is 1.199, so that's a number 8. Yeah, that's grand. Next one again, 1.533, so that's a triangle. Yeah, that's right, number 9. Number 10, yeah, is a circle, 1.09, and obviously 1.092, and that's a circle as well. Okay. So that's it. We've classified each object there, and hopefully that's of help to you. Okay, thanks for listening. Bye bye.